Good afternoon, students. My name is Ajan John, and today I am going to correct and edit this essay. You can see the essay question and the student's answer printed below. If you are listening to this on YouTube, you can also click on subtitles or transcript, and you should be able to see a more or less accurate representation of the text. So let's begin with paragraph 1. The first sentence is not clear. I think the student's idea is that they're trying to say that nowadays human rights give or try to give equality between men and women. But this is not exactly the same as having different roles. For example, a woman being a mother and a wife does not mean she has less rights than men. It just means maybe this is an appropriate role for a woman, and a role for a man may be to work, for example. So this essay question is not really about equal rights for men and women, so I think the writer is going off track a little bit here. Anyway, we should change the first sentence to something like, if society is organized according to the principles of equality for both genders, then men and women should have the freedom to choose their roles. However, there are sometimes physical differences which make the roles different for men and women. Here I am using one sentence for both sentence 1 and sentence 2 in the first paragraph, so that sentence is for the whole first paragraph. The same problem with the second sentence. It's really not clear, but I understand the writer is trying to say that because of physical differences, men and women may have different roles. Paragraph 2. Again, the first sentence is not clear. The writer should say something like, men and women should have equal rights and therefore the options to choose roles which they think are appropriate and desirable. Appropriate and desirable. Next sentence. For example, my male friend who left his company to take care of his child because he got a lower salary than his wife. The idea here is not clear. I think the writer wants to say that because the man had a lower salary, it seemed more appropriate for him to be the house husband and his wife to continue working. So she needs to make this point clear. But again, this is nothing to do with human rights, but it is relevant to roles. So better to say here, if, for example, a man finds that his salary is far lower than his wife's, it may seem appropriate for him to be the one to stay at home and look after the kids while his wife continues to work. And nowadays we can see this happening in many places. Women can get very good jobs such as doctors and lawyers, and therefore are able to make very substantial salaries. Paragraph 3. In addition is not appropriate here because the writer is not adding to the previous paragraph. She is giving another example. So better to begin, one of my friends. I think here she must mean a female friend. She doesn't say that, but I think we can assume this is a female. So let's change this sentence to, one of my female friends had to earn enough money to take care of her family because her elder brother was disabled and both her parents were retired. This shows that women can often take the role of men in the family. They can get a good job and earn a substantial salary. In previous times, only men had this option. The last sentence, women became more specialist than men, is not clear because both men and women can specialize in being a doctor, an engineer, or a teacher. So I think we should get rid of that last sentence. So moving on to paragraph 4. Lastly, some women can do even better than men in their careers. One example which comes to mind is a taxi driver. I remember one day last year when I was traveling home at night, I took a taxi and was very surprised to see that the taxi driver was a woman. I felt very relieved about this because I am always afraid when taking a taxi home late at night that the male taxi driver may be dangerous. Since then I have noticed many female taxi drivers, and I think they have an advantage over men because women especially feel safer as their passengers. So I've more or less changed the whole of that paragraph to fit in with the writer's ideas. Paragraph 5. On the other hand, if a woman is pregnant while working or applying for her job, some companies will not allow these women to continue working. For example, my ex-company would not allow men and women to marry in the workplace because they were afraid that if the woman got pregnant, she would stop work for 6 months and the company would not be able to dismiss her following the rules of Thai labor laws. I've made quite a few changes there to make the writer's idea clearer. The company gave the reason that it made them get more lost. I think here the writer means the company are going to make a financial loss. But I have included that idea in my previous sentence, mentioning that the company cannot dismiss the employee. Continuing, I remember that the first question which this company asked me was, "Are you pregnant?" You should put those last words in quotation marks. I answered them, "No, I am not pregnant." Again in quotation marks. This seemed very funny to me. In addition, some careers are not suitable for women because of their physical limitations. Full stop. For example, jobs such as construction workers, policemen, and military. Paragraph 6, last paragraph. Again, I'm going to have to change this because the idea is not clear, but it is similar to what we said in the introductory paragraph. In conclusion, if we follow the principles of human rights, then men and women should have the opportunities to pursue similar roles. However, there may be cases where, because of physique, for example, this cannot happen. Physique. A lot of problems with this essay, the grammar and also the organization of the writer's ideas. I think the writer has chosen a far too difficult way to try to answer the question. I think I would have just focused on maybe one or two ideas. For example, the role in the home between husband and wife. I think I would have argued that nowadays women and men can interchange their roles almost entirely, and if the man wants to stay home instead of the woman and look after the kids, do the cooking, clean the house, change the nappies, then why shouldn't he be able to do that? And the woman can be outside pursuing a high-flying career in the law or in engineering. I think just giving that one idea with examples would be sufficient to answer the question, with a far less chance of the writer getting confused, which they have done in this essay. So paragraph 2 would have been no, men and women should not have different roles in society. They should be able to do any role they wish. Then give more detail in paragraph 2 about the man and woman switching roles. So we have a house husband and a career woman. Go into detail about how that can work. Then in paragraph 3, give the opposite point of view. Talk a little bit about some of the professions which really may not be suitable for women, such as soldiers or taxi drivers working at night. Okay, students, thank you for listening. Good luck with your next assignment.